Happy to
Hey,
have everyone connected today. Thank you for taking the time. And I want to wish a great welcome to everyone being with us today. So, what are we talking about today? A super interesting topic to enter the high season, and it is about how to automate the perfect guest journey. For that, I have the pleasure to host this webinar with Jim. So, for those who do not know me, I'm Iliana. I'm partnership manager here at Smobu. So, what am I doing super quickly? If you're seeing the marketplace in Smobu, I'm taking care of it. So, finding the best partner for you and presenting them to you. And normally, most of you are Smobu users. But for the ones that are not and might not know fully Smobu, just in one sentence. So we are a PMS and a channel manager. And what we are hearing the most from our hosts in terms of benefits is that we are super user friendly, easy to use. The connection with the OTAs are running smoothly. And apparently, we also have the best support. So cheers to our team. Tim, handing it to you.
yeah, exactly. So, first of all, thank you for inviting us for the webinar today. Really looking forward to it to talk to you how to automate the perfect guest journey. My name is Jim. I'm the head of sales at Guestway, and we are an all-in-one platform that sits on top of the PMS, where we focus on everything guest communication and operation. And of course, that is strongly related to the guest journey, the complete guest journey. And that's why we're here today, and that's why I want to talk to you about it.
Yeah, we have integrated Guestway in January.
Yeah,
So we are still discovering together the synergy, and there is a lot. So you will discover it during our presentation.
exactly.
So what are we cooking today? First, a introduction. Then we will go directly on how to automate the perfect guest journey. Jim will give us a demo of their platform, and you will see I'm saying for Smooboo that is super user friendly. But why we have decided to work with Guestware, it's also because it's super intuitive. So it will speak by itself. And then we will go on the next development they will do for their platform and their pricing. And
Yeah.
of course, at the end, a little Q&A session, and we will answer all your questions. So, without further ado, how to automate the perfect guest journey. It's a hot topic with the season, the high season coming. And for that, we asked you one question that was about WhatsApp. Do you currently use WhatsApp to communicate with your guests? And super interesting because you were 60% to answer yes. So, not surprised about that because we see how easy it is and how straightforward straightforward it is for the guests. And myself being a guest, I love to be at the door and just checking my phone rather than opening my emails. What surprised me is that you were still 40% to do it manually. So, what are you thinking about those numbers, Jim?
Yeah, I was also super happy to see that 60% already uses it. And then on top of that, 85% is even also interested in it. It was only 60% that doesn't use it yet. Maybe they're still interested in it. And I find these really interesting details, especially the yes menu from my phone. And that's,
Mhm.
I believe, something we have to change. And I believe we can do that with Guestway, which is actually a perfect bridge to use for my next slide, where we will talk about how to automate the perfect guest journey. So for me, how we want to do that, and first I want to show you some slides on an educational part, what we believe should be the good thing to do. After that, as we talked to you about in the agenda, I'm going to show you how we do it in Guestway. So the whole pre-arrival experience should be fully automated. And a couple of important details are there. For example, the booking confirmation. Most of the time, people send this through the OTA. Hey, thank you so much for booking with us. What I believe is important is that you should also do this through WhatsApp. And again, if you use Guestway, we can have a direct integration with WhatsApp and we can just automate this message. Second to that is the pre-check-in. You don't want to do these things manually or something. It should be fully automated. So inside this booking confirmation that you're going to send through the OTA or through WhatsApp, This is also where you should include a sort of a guest app link where the guest can fill in their contact details, ID verification, etc., maybe a damage waivers or do any upsells. Once that is done, the last part that should be fully automated is the smart access. And so, of course, it's important that you use smart. And if you use smart locks, the nice thing is that Guestway integrate with all of the leading smart lock providers out there: Nuki, Salto, Brivo, Prodata Key, Yale, Schlag, etc. So the most obvious thing is that we generate a PIN code. But what really makes a differentiator on our platform, and I believe is really crucial, is that the first time the guest uses this PIN code, that is when they automatically check in. So as you can look at this, we automatically send a message on booking confirmation. We automatically include a guest app link where they can do the pre-check-in. Of course, we can see in the unified inbox that has been done. We generate a PIN code, and the first time they use a PIN code, they're automatically checked in. So the complete pre-arrival experience is fully automated.
And
That
that's
brings
something that you want automatized. I mean, if you're still, again, sending it manually, I don't know how much time you're spending on this when you're not really winning anything by doing it manually. One question that I had is how to make sure that when you're sending those, it doesn't feel too robotic to the guests. How do you make sure that it's feel natural?
makes sense. Just try to use as much as warm and normal language. And I think you can also configure this in your automation, the way you make your automations, but always try to keep it as short and crispy and to the point if possible. Because for my own as a guest, if there's one thing I do not like, is these very long messages. Hey, thank you so much. We're looking forward. It's been great and everything, etc. I like to keep it short and spicy, to the point, and that's something that I personally prefer myself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is everything from the pre-arrival experience. Now we're going to go during the stay. We want to keep our guests happy on autopilot. And obviously to say the most important thing there is the unified inbox. Having one central place where you can centralize all of your messages, where you give an overview, what is the current reservation status, what is the access codes we generated, everything should be visible in one extensive unified inbox. Of course, as we're doing this demo with mobile users, I think it's also very important to highlight that we have a mobile app, which you can download, the Guestway app, which also has the unified inbox inside. And this is really nice to use if you're on the go, you quickly want to answer a message. You don't always need a laptop at your side. Second to that is Airbnb requests. Of course, it can happen that sometimes during when your guests are staying with you, there are any alterations. They want to extend their reservations. They want to add people to the reservation, or maybe sometimes straight from our unified inbox, because we have a direct integration with Airbnb. You can immediately approve, decline, or accept these alterations and manage it. And then the last thing, and this is one I love the most, is the AI guest sentiment. Every message that the guest sends, we automatically track with AI and we give it a sort of sentiment: satisfied, very satisfied, neutral, or dissatisfied. The fact that we have this inside the platform also means you can use it in your automation. And that's for my last step at checkout. A good use case there is, for example, you're going to only ask for review to very satisfied people.
Explain a bit more about the AI guest sentiment. How does it work? How do you track guest satisfaction?
Yes, exactly. So every time a guest sends a message, for example, they asked for parking, we gave them parking. Thank you so much for the parking. Super happy, looking forward to your stay. That for us, we feel that this is a positive sentiment. We added inside the unified inbox, and I'll show you that during the demo as well. And then in the unified inbox, we don't just give an overall, we do give an overall score, but we also tell you why we give this score. So we give you this guest has a positive sentiment because she or he thanked us for giving parking. She or he was overall very positive towards the host. She or he, and maybe some negative things, she or he reported damage. And so we give you this overall score. And I find it also interesting to say that AI is a great tool, and I'll all believe that we're going to use more and more AI, but never let AI do completely the work for you. So if you ever want to override it, we also give you the option to say, okay, great that AI said this is a happy guest, but for me, this is a not happy guest. So you can always override it.
Yeah, that's great. We still want the
To be
power of
exactly. And we still want to be in control of that. That brings me to my last point. So we had pre-check-in. Now we're during the stay, of course, we also have a seamless checkout and the review that follows. Needless to say, the automation modules that we have, what you want to do is you want to send them the checkout instructions, automatically send it to the guest. Nothing has to be remembered. And then as we have the AI guest sentiment here, you're going to use the smart review request, meaning you're going to only ask for review of the guest to guest with a positive AI sentiment. And then last but not least, we also have a cleaning management module inside our platform. So what do we do is that automatically after each reservation, we automatically schedule a cleaning task. And then if you configure the cleaning team for that, they can start cleaning it. And then the complete cycle is done. So what I want to highlight with this is that if you have a platform that has and guest communication and operations, you can really cover the complete guest journey of the guests and fully automated, which will make your life as a host much easier. So that's everything for the slides. I would love to show you our platform itself. Do you have any questions more, Iliana? Are there any questions right now? Yeah, exactly. It's something we currently don't do. In all honesty, I think Snowbook currently has some really great partners who do it already. What we do is that in the automations, if we get the information from the guest, we always sync this first name, last name, company name. If they do select business, we always sync it back to the PMS. So all of the data will be inside Snowbook. And then for now, I would suggest to take another partner that does this local reporting, and then you can use the information that we sync back to the PMS. So it's a great ecosystem of all partners working together. I'll show you now a quick demo of Guestway itself, and then we're going to look at what's next and some price. So yes, so here you go. Currently, we are inside Guestway, and maybe it's nice to mention that we're also a property management company ourselves, so we manage units of our own. So currently, you're live inside an organization. What you do have to know is that all of the names, they're completely anonymized. So these are guests, but all of the names are anonymized because that would be not great in terms of GDPR. So currently we are inside Guestway. We're looking inside Unified Inbox. We have the multi-calendar. We can answer to reviews, etc. We have the smart. Here you can see all of the reservations. Visually very obvious to see where are we at. And currently we're looking at one specific reservation. In the middle, you have the reservation, the conversation itself. And what I want to show you today is, of course, highlight the automated guest journey. So here you can already see a nice example of 2 automated messages that we have sent out, which are what we believe is the perfect guest journey. So what I want to show you first is that, of course, you can always assign conversation to yourself. I did that one. I looked this morning inside our unified inbox, and I tried to highlight one nice guest journey that we had with a guest to show you during this webinar. And so here we can see that on booking confirmation, 2 automated messages happens. One happens through WhatsApp and the other happens through booking.com because that's the OTA that they booked through. And inside this automated message, you can also see that we included the link to our guest app. Again, this is not a downloadable app. This is just an app that opens in their own web browser where they can fill in all the information. Now, if we look at these 2 actions, after that, the guest has successfully done the pre-check-in, which we can also see here. Pre-check-in was done. We gathered all of the guest information and we can gather all of the trip details. Again, we can also ask them to do ID verification or any other steps. After that, the guest has sent us a message through booking.com. In all honesty, what I really a lot see is that most of the time they answer through WhatsApp. And this allows us to then completely have all the rest of the conversation through WhatsApp. In this case, it's booking.com. And then we, of course, answer through booking.com as well. So configuring the automations is something I'll show you later. But what is useful in Guestway is that, of course, we also have automation specifically for one reservation, as you can see here. So what you can do is you can just click here on schedule, and then we can see all the scheduled automations. So it looks like we're still having a lot of upcoming automations that are still in the future, but we already have some in the history. And so right from here, we can see if I click on history, we can see that we did 2 actions, the WhatsApp booking confirmation. That is exactly this message, the WhatsApp booking confirmation. And then we also had the OTA booking confirmation, and that you can see here. And then I can already see that we have a 3rd automation that we did. And this one is, for example, the OTA check-in message. That's this one. And then we can see we have done it. Why? Because it's an automation that was scheduled because the pre-check-in has been completed. Yes, it was scheduled and it was automatically sent. And so, for example, we have another one here. Here, the pre-check-in has not been complete. If the pre-check-in has not been completed yet, then you're going to do this action. So this is a sort of condition that you can apply, which makes sure that this action will be fulfilled, yes or no. You can always override it and click on send now, and then it will still be sent. So this allows you again to fully automate it. Now, let's quickly go back to the unified inbox to make sure everything is clear here. Of course, we can translate conversations, we can mute conversations, we can remind you to conversations, and we can send through multiple channels. The OTA, email, SMS, WhatsApp, through the guest portal, or even work with internal notes. Hey, I promised this client a bottle of champagne, promised the client a bottle of champagne, and then you can send it and you can see automatically it's changed to an internal note, and it's an internal note that you can send. Now, if we look at the right side, we can see the reservation overview panel. This is all the information that we have about the guests specifically here. When do they check in? When do they check out? What is the status of their pre-check-in? Do we want to add any services? For example, cleaning, or do we add a baby bed? Here, we didn't allow any to be sent. Notes, a chat summary. That means everything that has been said from the guest in chronologically order with the date next to it. And then a short view of the calendar.
Jim, how do you make sure that the guests will not get the emails through booking.com and WhatsApp?
So we send a message through WhatsApp and through booking.com. And I believe that's a good thing. I wouldn't do one versus one. I would do both of them, if that was your question.
You send automatic mails via email. Can you use your own business email address? Because via
Yes.
Yahoo, they need a host at Smoku email address.
Yeah. So you can configure your own email domain. So you can link your own email domain to Guestway, and that allows you to also send from there. For example, here on our, this is a hotel that we have. We've configured it at guests.astay.com, and that's where we also send our emails from. So that's perfectly possible. You can configure that inside here, email domain.
Amazing.
Yes. Yeah. We give a default email address, but I think in terms of branding, it's much nicer if you can use your own email domain.
Yeah, Mark is telling us that maybe the customer don't like to receive it 2 times. I don't think that the case, honestly, because then you're not receiving it on the same channel and you have the information easily found than rather having it only on one channel.
Yeah. Maybe it's a personal experience, but for
Yeah.
me, if I receive things on booking.com, I barely check it. I have to say on Airbnb, I do it more often. But I would love if the full guest journey went through WhatsApp, because when I arrive at the apartment, I just go to WhatsApp. That's probably where the codes are as well to check in, etc. So I find it much more useful than going through my emails, typing Airbnb or booking.com and looking for the logins there.
But then you can choose, Mark. If you only want to send it by WhatsApp, you only send it by WhatsApp. It's really up to you.
Exactly. You would configure the different in the automations.
Thank
Then
you.
you're welcome. If there's any questions, let me know. Here, listings, also something very useful is that we give more information about the listing itself. And what we can do here is we can create guidebooks. Guidebooks are used for 2 use cases. So it's either a website, PDF, rich text, image, or video. And you can use them for internal use cases for your own operators. If there are any questions about parking, how to go to the parking, you create it one time and then your operators know how to answer to this. Or you create it for external use cases. So you create for your guests. For example, a good use case would be nice restaurants to eat at, great bars in the neighborhood. And so then I would suggest to create a nice PDF. You give it a nice thumbnail image. And so the guest app that they use to do the pre-check-in, on this guest app, once they did the pre-check-in, they can also have access to all these PDF, rich text, image, and video files where they can find more information to enjoy their amazing stay inside your apartment. Then we have more information about the guest and the access points. So here you can see that we also automatically generate a PIN code for each reservation. So currently this is staying with us. That means we created the PIN codes. And I think a lot of platforms do that out there, but we go a little bit further in that. The first thing that we do is, let's say this PIN code doesn't work, we can automatically regenerate the codes. But a more common use case is the one that I see a lot is we can extend their access. So we can do it overall for the complete reservation. Hey, I'm going to arrive a bit earlier. Can you already give me earlier access? No worries. But what we very often see is, hey, I'm going to arrive a bit earlier. I already want to put my luggage in the gym door. Here you go. We override it and we will give you 6 hours in advance access. You click on extend and automatically the PIN codes will be updated inside the platform. Needless to say that, of course, if you would update the check-in time inside the PMS, We would also upgrade the PIN codes. And also important to know that these are smart locks. We also have static locks. So with static locks, we will also automatically send the code to each guest via our automated messages. Of course, you don't have the freedom to continuously changes because it's a static lock, but you can also do it. And then last but not least, for the unified inbox, what we have as well is the operations. So as you can see here, there was a pre-arrival cleaning. It is still pending. They didn't do it. This was the cleaning team that was configured. Here inside cleaning is where you configure your teams. We always automatically schedule a cleaning task before the reservation, linked to the previous reservation, and we schedule a post-departure cleaning. And this one is still pending, which makes sense because it's only scheduled for the 6th of June. And what would happen is this cleaning team will have to download our Guestway app. There you can see an overview of all of the cleaning tasks they have to do. The ones they take some picture and then they submit it, you will see here it's done. And of course, we will get an update inside this saying the apartment is clean again and can now be used for the next reservation. So this is the complete guest journey covered inside the unified inbox, which gives you a complete view of every moment that the guest inside is. Are there any questions you have from your side, Jana, about the unified inbox?
Yes, one more, that is it applied also for WeChat?
That's a good question. It's funny because we added Instagram and Messenger since last week. So this week, from next week on, it will be available to all of our guests. You'll also see Instagram and Messenger.
Great
With
to
Reach,
hear.
not yet, because we just didn't have the requests yet. If there's requests coming about it, why not? We want to be the all-in-one unified inbox. So I think we should also have then all the big channels out there. So it might be interesting to add that to the roadmap as well.
Yeah, we're not thinking of WeChat, that's true, but maybe depending of your housing, you might receive some Asian tourists, and that could be the right channel.
Exactly. So what the last thing I quickly want to maybe show to you here is, for example, this is an example of an AI guest sentiment tracking. So here you have some reasons why there is positive and why it's negative. And you can see here, this message, we categorize it as a request. We're also translating it because you can see the globe here. So if I would turn off translation, you can see that it's in Dutch. And then here, positive sentiment, another request. So this is all the information that we use, another positive sense, in order to give it an overall satisfaction score. And of course, here, this gives you the option to say, okay, you know what, for me, this is not a satisfied guest. It's a dissatisfied guest. You can always have the option to override. If there ever is an issue with inside the conversation and you want to go to the PMS, you can always go here. This will automatically direct you to Smobile to that specific reservation. And of course, here you can see all the assigned conversations, the ones that need a reply. And whenever there's an unread message, you just click here and AI will automatically suggest a reply for you. So currently you can see live typing here. So this is really cool. One of my colleagues is currently live typing this message. So probably in a second, she will answer to this. And then this message will be gone outside of need reply. And she probably also see that I'm with it. So love to see it when our platform really works.
More question for you, Jim. Jan is asking, we don't use a guest app, but hidden instruction or check-in page via their own website. I guess we can easily implement that in the inbox too.
So yes, what we do is in our guest app, that means we can do the pre-check-in via us, for example. And once the pre-check-in is done, we can automatically redirect you to another URL, which would then be your website. And that's where they can have all the information. So we have a setting for that. I have it actually open here. So this is where you configure the guest app and you can see here, redirect URL. So if said guest will be this URL for the first time they completed their pre-check-in to the guest portal. So that's, if I understood your question well, exactly the use case I was talking about.
Perfect. And last question we've received, the platform and support are only available in English, or is German also possible?
Yeah, so we do have German support. We also have, if you have any question, you can click here and click on support chat. We have an AI button, but our AI can perfectly answer in German. So that's no worries there. Also, if you go into the chat, you can also, inside the unified inbox, you can also translate everything to your own preferred language, which can be German. So that's no issue.
Nice.
And here, by the way, you can see that the message was answered. So it went out of the need reply. There's no longer any need reply messages. My colleague, you can see that we anonymized the data because it's a different picture for the name. So everything has been done here and the pre-check-in has been completed. Any other questions? I see we have 15 more minutes.
Yeah, I see Claude asking, how does Guestway complement Smobu without duplicating its feature like automation and others?
Yeah.
That's
For me, you have to see it as we are an extension on top of them. So for the unified inbox, Smallboo also has a unified inbox, and I believe it's a good unified inbox. We go much further than that. So we add much more functionalities to it, just as with access management, automations, etc. So what I would suggest is if you are a small property manager and you're happy how everything works and you just want to make sure things work well as it is right now, then I don't think Guestway is the solution for you. If you are an ambitious property manager and you really want to grow and you want to make sure that you have the best solution out there, then I think Guestway would be interesting for you because we're just a layer on top of Mobile, extending most of their features. And I do believe we have some things that are not inside Mobile platform. So that's also where we differentiate.
Yeah, I agree.
It's funny to talk about it with Smobot together, but I'm happy we align on that feature, Eliana. I actually really want to also finish the slides. I have more to do. I will have more to show inside Guestway. I've just shown you a part of it. I actually just only shown you the unified inbox. If anybody wants to see more of Guestway, just please book a demo with us. And there's much more to show to you, which I'll also cover during the slides I want to go back to. So for example, a multi-calendar. Let me go back to my slides. So quickly to summarize everything you saw today and plenty you didn't. What I covered today is the unified inbox. I quickly showed you how our automations look like. But again, there's a big part in configuring automations and all the possibilities you have with it. I showed you how the guest app works. I haven't shown you the Guestway app itself. And of course, access management. What I didn't touch at all is we also do review management. So you can answer to reviews from Airbnb straight from our platform. We can put a chat widget on your website. Needless to say that if people will ask questions in this chat widget, it will be automatically directed to our unified inbox where you can reply to it. And then right after summer, we're planning to release an operations center. That means straight from the unified inbox, as the guest says, hey, my toilet is broken, automatically you can create a task and assign it to your task management. So this is really a task management tool, which will be possible straight from the unified inbox. And upsells, of course. Upsells is something we really want to focus on in the future, where you can sell upsells through our platform. So that's everything what we have inside right now and two big features that we're launching. That being said, in July, we're releasing a very nice feature specifically for mobile user, which is autopilot. So as I've shown you during the demo, what we currently do is we give you AI suggested replies. In July, we're going to release autopilot, which will be auto answering guest messages from your knowledge base. And as I've shown you during the demo, the knowledge base is actually the data where the AI will get its answer from. And these are the guidebooks. So the guidebooks that I talked to you about that you can use for internal use cases, but also for guest facing use cases. This is sort of the main data that AI will look like. And if in this data you say, we offer parking at this price, AI will automatically base its answers on that and will be able to answer messages to you for that. So I'm really looking forward to share that with mobile users because I think it's super beneficial for them. If we look at pricing, we offer our platform for 10 euros per listing per month for the complete platform, up to 50 units. From the moment that you go over 50 units, your price will go down. Everything is included inside the platform, as well as the smart integrations that we have, that we already have, like Nuki, Yale, Schlag, Brivo, etc. And there's a minimum of 50 euros per month. So just to explain it to you, we believe that from the moment that you have 5 units and you go above, then it becomes more interesting to use Guestway as an extension on top of Smobile. And for this webinar, last but not least, we're giving a gift. So we give a free trial month for everybody attending today. So the idea would be that you book a demo with us or you attend a meeting. We onboard you on the free trial. And once the free trial is over, by the end of June, you can enjoy the autopilot in July. Hopefully, we will release it in the beginning of July. But yeah, we're already working on it on our side. We try to release it as fast as possible. So I think those are the most important things from our side. I really want to leave some questions for further Q&A. Are there any questions on your side, Iliana, or do you see any questions?
Yes. So first, thank you so much, Jim, because that's true. You have an extensive product, so hard to show everything on presentation, but at least we have seen the unified inbox. So that's already give us a glimpse. And we've covered a lot of powerful tools today. So thank you for that. We have two other questions that I'm seeing at the moment, and maybe other will come. If I read the inbox in my language and answer in my language, that Guestway at the end translate back to the customer language. How does it work?
Yes, I prefer to always share the screen for that. So here we are. We go to the unified inbox, so you can choose, the conversation I had here. So you can translate it. This was a translated one. Yeah. So it's translated to Dutch. But if we would send the message, you here have again auto translation. So let's turn on auto translation. Currently is off. And we can then translate to the guest language. You can also choose a different language if for some reason you want it. But here we have the guest language. And here you can automatically see we detected that the guest language is Dutch, which is correct because we saw that before. So if you would type here in German, we would translate the message again to Dutch and it would be sent in Dutch. So incoming messages are translated via here, outgoing messages are translated via. So we do cover that.
Amazing. Another question is again regarding the personal email address, because that's true with Mobu. If they're using their personal one, their unified inbox doesn't work. So just to confirm, that's not the case with Guestway. If they're using their personal email address, they will receive everything within Guestway.
Yeah, it's you can create your own custom email domain, and maybe it's perfect to explain that as well. I'll show it to you immediately. So for that, you go to settings. There's two possibilities. We have the guest inbox. So the first one you can do is that if you have your own personal email address, you can forward it to this email address. And then if you reply to that message, it will be from the Guestway email address. What we can also do is you can have your own custom guest inbox email. So what you do is you're going to set up a new email domain. And here I have to clarify that this is a technical limitation from email domains itself. So in our case, our hotel is called @astay.com. You cannot link the email domain @astay.com because it's already linked to an email domain. You have to create a new one. We did that here. It's @guest.astay.com. Once you configured it and everything is verified, very easy, we will do it. Then you have the option to select it here. And then you just give it a prefix and it's called info@guest.astay.com. So I would also include this, for example, on your website and everywhere. Every email that is sent to this email address will show in our unified inbox. And then if we reply to that, we will reply from this custom branded email domain. So that is perfectly possible and that can be set up inside our unified inbox.
Yeah, super
Hopefully that
useful.
answers the question.
I think so. We'll have another quick popping up otherwise.
Perfect.
I have another question. Do you support Nuki Log using its web link feature? So guest receive the unique web link. So guest does not have to download any app, or do they need to download the app?
We do have so we create the pin codes, but they don't have to download the Nuki app for that. The pin codes will be made visible via our guest app. So there's no need to download any web Nuki app for that. You will send the codes, first of all, via the automated messages. And after that, you will share the guest app. And there also all of the links of Nuki will be shown. So there's no need to download any Nuki app for that. And we just integrate via Nuki via their API.
Yeah, so that's great. It's super straightforward for the guests, and then they receive the code, and that's it coming at the door. And yeah, because I guess why we have this question is just that if we ask the guest to download an app for the smart lock, then an app for the guest guide, then
We agree. Yeah, nobody will do it. So the guest app, guest facing one, that's just a progressive web app, as we call it, is a newer one. We do have a downloadable app. That's the Guestway app, and that's for the host to answer messages through the unified inbox, and for the cleaning management app. So for the cleaning personnel, that's where they also have an overview of all of the cleaning tasks they have to do. So that's a downloadable app one, but the guest facing one, nobody will download it, just as you said yourself, for people staying one weekend.
so to follow on the Nuki question, the thing is not everyone have keypads. So if you don't have keypads, you might need the app or the web link. Do you also support this?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. No, I need to double check that. I will write down your name. If you can, please send me a message. I do think we support it. I need to double check that.
We will
Uh,
also send the answer in the following email with the recording because, yes, a recording will be sent at the end of the webinar. Normally, by the end of the day, you will receive everything. So, we will also answer this question in the email.
yeah, good question.
Yeah, because then it's explaining that the guest can click on a button open door in the guest app to open the Nuki door without key codes.
Yeah, I know what it is right now. I need to double check that. I just had the chat open and I do indeed see a lot of Sven is answering. It's so Sven is our CTO. He's also in the demo and he's answering the questions. The guest can
Ah, so
also open. So we have it. Thank you, Sven.
much appreciated. And is there a video demo of the guest app somewhere? Do you have something that on your website that is more extensive? That's the presentation we had.
On our website, we have a full video of all of the features inside it. Plus, we have a YouTube channel where you can also find a guest app video normally, where you can find everything inside. If not, I can always show you, but I think we're going over time. Could demo with me and I would gladly show it to you.
Yeah. Anyway, you will receive an email with the video, the recording of today's webinar. And then we can also send you a few links with, for example, this extensive demo. And Claude, just to make sure that you've seen the answer regarding Nuki, yes, they have a button on Guestway Guest app that say open the door and that the guest can click on it. I hope that answer your question if it was not heard before.
Yeah, I think he saw it. And the setting up is very easy. You just have to, after you book the demo with us, just have to create an account. We link through Smobile. We are in their marketplace. That's where you can find the API key. Once we have the API key, we just need to put it in a webhook, and then we automatically pull inside all the information. It takes a couple of minutes. And from that moment on, you're live inside Guestway. You can start sending messages to the unified inbox. And then I would suggest create a WhatsApp number, link it to our website, link it to our platform, start configuring the automation. That takes a bit longer time. But from day one, from hour one, you can already start using Guestway and sending messages through our platform via the unified inbox.
Yeah, and I think it's the perfect moment to set it up because as we were saying, the high season is coming. So it's already give you some few weeks before it's really peaking. And you can see all the benefits and how much time and energy you're saving.
Yep. Fully agree, Iliana.
Well, I don't see any other one. So I think for now we have answered everything. And of course, if you have more questions, you will have Guestway contacts. So you can always send them an email, book a demo to see all the benefits and the feature they are offering.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much, Iliana, for the demo. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the demos booked and having more common customers between Smoke and Guestway.
Same. Thank you so much for the demo and the presentation. And thank
You're
you everyone for joining and being with us today.
perfect. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everybody. Bye bye.